Hey, heart seekers, welcome to the Heart's Hello Show, where we believe that our hearts are the foundation of our well being and happiness. I am your host, Keona Talana. Well, I'm hoping that you all have taken the opportunity to have listened to the podcast and really understand what we like to discuss and why we like to discuss it. Because there are so many transitions and things and shifts that take place as we journey through this thing that we call life. And I'm hoping that you all are hearing my heart. I'm hoping that you all are taking actionable steps. I'm hoping that you all are recognizing exactly who you are and the purpose that you have been given to follow out on this earth. So, for those of you all who are just now listening to this podcast, welcome. I'm glad that you have found yourself here, and I'm hoping that you decide to partner with us and come along on this journey, because I believe that the more of us who are on this journey to get better, to do better, to live better, creates a happier life, creates a happier world, creates a happier environment. So today's episode, I am coming for your almost. I am coming for those areas that you just continue to settle in day after day, month after month, year after year. See, I've said it before and I'll continue to keep saying it. How many times will you get to this point next year and say, I wish I would have done? Or you create another resolution and you say, this is going to be my year. Well, can I just tell you that this is your year? This is your year to do those things that you have set out in your mind. This is your year to step outside of your comfort zone. This is your year to go above what you even think that you can dream of. Because if we're being real, most individuals are only going to dream to the extent of what they think they can accomplish. And going outside of that can be difficult. Going outside of what you know is hard, especially when you may be in an environment of other individuals who think small. So I need you to be the one. I need you to be the one that says, you know what? I'm tired of playing small. I'm tired of sitting inside of my comfort zone and saying, I almost. I'm tired of you in a place where you are just settling for less than you know that you are worth. And so, today in this episode, I'm coming for your almost. Why? Because almost does not count. What you almost do does not count. The only thing that is going to matter is what you have set your hands to do. See, a lot of you all have all these big, audacious goals, which are great. But if they are only stuck in your mind and you have put no action to those things, they are only just thoughts. The only thing that matters is when you decide to take those thoughts and put actionable steps to them. See, what happens most times is you dream so big, but your mindset is still small. Because you begin to question the very thing that you have seen. You begin to have the self-doubt or the self-sabotage that causes you to remain stuck. So can you just say with me that almost doesn't count? It doesn't count, you all. The only thing that is going to matter is what you do. And regardless of how you do it, it does not have to be perfect. You don't have to have all of the pieces, but you do have to start. See, Nike likes to say, just do it. You're going to have to take the first step. You're going to have to get outside of what you know and what you think to be right. You're going to have to be as big as, for some of you all, the God that you serve. See, when I'm talking about you playing small, is because you don't believe in the God that you serve. You don't believe that Your faith is going to take you from where you are to where it is that you want to go. You don't have the belief enough to think that if you can see a thing, then it can be done. But I'm here to stir you up because I feel like that so many of you are right at the edge of your next. But you're standing there and you're having this conversation and you're saying, almost. I almost can take that leap. I almost can love again. I almost can transition out of this career. I almost can leave that thing that no longer serves me. And you see what's right there in front of you, but you're afraid to take the step because almost has you in a chokehold. Almost has you thinking that that's all that you can get and that's all that you're ever going to do and be. And for some of you, that all that could very well be true, because if that is where you are and you don't have the mindset to shift that, then you're right. You're absolutely right. That's where you're going to be. So I need to come up against that almost. The fear of you stepping out, the fear of you saying, you know what, I believe that I can do it, but most of you all fear the unknown. Most of you all fear the success that could take place. Most of you all fear the opinions of others, but the very thing that you should be fearing is not you being successful. The fear that you should have is that you will be in the same place next year saying almost. That should scare you. That should scare you enough to say, you know what, I've had enough. I've had enough of being in this place of just being complacent. And until you get to that place, until you are sick and tired of you, you're going to be in this same spot. See, in last week's episode, I talked about it being you versus you versus your self-doubt, you versus your trauma, you versus you. The enemy that so many people try to blame everything on is the inner me, INNER. The enemy doesn't exist. The only thing that can take place is that the thoughts can be dropped into your mind that you can't do it. And until you learn to combat against the enemy that you want to blame everything on and realize that it's the inner me, you're not going to move. You're not going to think that you're enough. You're not going to think that you deserve that job that you know that you are qualified for. You're not going to think that the relationship that you want, that you're just never going to have, and you just continue to settle time after time and put yourself back into the same position that you just got yourself out of. Why? Because you keep attracting the very thing that you say that you don't want, but you're not making any changes in your life to get anything different. The habits haven't changed. The patterns haven't changed. You haven't changed. So what do we have to do? What do we have to do to get out of and get off of the carousel that we continue to ride? One is going to be just being able to recognize the fact that you're on a carousel. Some of you all are just riding and keep buying tickets to the same ride over and over and over again, to the fact that it has lulled you to sleep. Wake up. Wake up and recognize that if this is not where you want to go, if this is not where you want to be, then the only person that is going to change that is going to be you. You can't blame anyone else for where you are. Yes, there have been situations and circumstances in which you cannot control or change. But after that has worn off, after whatever the time is that you need to heal or whatever it may be, then what? What's the excuse next? It's almost like when you hear the women who say, oh, I'm still trying to get rid of the baby weight. Well, girl, how old is your baby? Oh, your baby is 20. Well, what baby weight are you talking about? Because that can no longer be the excuse. Either you wanted to shed the weight and change your diet and do something different, or you didn't. So now here you are 20 years later with your grown child, and you still talking about you trying to lose baby weight. Girl, no, that's just you being lazy. So let's get out of the habit of making excuses. Let's get out of the habit of almost. Let's get out of the habit of settling for less, because you're worth it. I know that you desire more. No one wants to be in a place of comfortable. No one wants to be just making it to get by. You didn't wake up to be average. You didn't wake up just to say, you know what, I'm just going to do the least amount of work today, but yet you have these huge and grandiose goals and dreams and desires that you have. It's like sometimes you see the videos where people are talking about, oh, they're looking at homes that are outside of what they know they can afford. Now, mind you, I'm all about dream building. But what exactly is it that you are doing to change your situation to get what it is that you want? You can see it. So what do you have to do? Almost doesn't count. Period. You looking at the screen almost doesn't allow the money to get into your bank account. Almost in a relationship makes no sense. Either you are or you aren't. Why are you teetering between wanting it or not wanting it? What do you want? Do you know what you want? Do you believe that what you want is what you can get? Or are you just settling for, well, I'll just take this. It's not all of what I want, but I'll just settle. Stop. If you settle in one area of your life, you will always settle in every area of your life. Do something different. In order to get something different, you must do something that you've never had. Do something different. Get outside of your comfort zone. So we're going to have to do a couple of things. We're going to have to unravel some of the past histories, some of the traits, some of the patterns, some of those things that keep you stuck. Going to have to be able to recognize what exactly is it that you're almost saying that you're going to do, and why. Why is it that you are afraid to move your feet? Who is it that you are afraid of becoming? Is it the authentic version of you, or you're comfortable with wearing all of these different masks? You're comfortable in having to code switch in every environment that you show up in. It's exhausting. The only reason why I know is because I've been there, done that, earned a badge for it. And I realized that it's not worth it. It's not worth me settling what it is that I deserve to only get half of what I know that I want. So go after what it is that you want. Stop saying almost. I almost did it. You're almost there. That's like if you're watching baseball and the person is on first base, second base, third base, and they're coming home and they're saying almost, you're almost there. What if they stop right before they get to home base? That's what most of you all are doing. You can see the base right there. You have ran 1, 2, 3 and coming up on 4, but you just stop. You just stop. Or for some of you all, you decide that you're not going to pick up the bat at all. You don't even want to play. But you think that you're just going to round all the bases and then get the point. That's not how that works. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the work. So what is it that you need to do? Create some deadlines. I know that it sounds great, but no, you really have to shift your mindset. You really have to make a decision that you're no longer going to be in this same spot again next year. Look at where you are, your timing of things. Look at the accomplishments and the goals that you want. And just figure out, where are you? Where are you right now? I've said it in previous episodes before. Take a moment to just stop and look at your feet. And you have to be present in your moments. You have to know where you are. Because in order to know and to go where you want to be, you first have to be honest with yourself about where you are. What is it that you need to do right here, today, in this moment, to get what it is that you want? So for some of you all, it could be going back to school. Okay, what do you need to do today to make that happen? Do you have the finances for it? Do you need to apply for grants? Do you need to make sure that you're going to the right school? Do they have what it is that you want? For some of you all, it could be your career. Where exactly are you right now in your career? Look at where it is that you want to go and work backwards. Stop just going out here and accepting a position here and there because you think that it's going to get you to where it is that you want to go. No. What is the end goal? What type of job do you want? What type of career do you want to have? And map it out. Map out what that first job looks like. When you need to transition out of that one in order to get to the next one. Let's start making safe choices. Or not safe choices, but let's start making strategic choices, and let's stop playing it safe. I'll say that again. Let's create and make strategic choices and stop just playing it safe and expecting that what you want to get is just going to automatically show up. Yes, God does come and do amazing things. And yes, he can open doors that no man can shut. And I believe in all of that. Can we also make sure that we know what we want? For others of you all, so I talked about, your careers. What do you want in your relationships? What do you want that to look like? What do you want that person to look like? What attributes do you want them to have, and characteristics do you want them to have that are non-negotiables for you? Stop settling for what you do not want, because I can guarantee you that what you don't want is going to show up. Why? Because you will continue to settle for that very thing that's easy, as opposed to holding out for the thing that you really want and saying, no, I don't want that. I'm deserving of more than that. So let's stop saying almost, and let's stop being just complacent in where we are and saying, I'll just take what I can get. No, you don't have to take what you can get. You can go after what you want. Yes, it's going to take more work. So what? Do you know how much work it's going to take for you to continue to settle and then try to get yourself out of what you done settled in? My gosh, that's hard work. So let's just create and set some clear, achievable goals. Whatever that is, break down your large goals into smaller goals. That's the only way that getting almost out of your system is going to work. Because otherwise you're going to feel overwhelmed. And how else are you going to track your process when it's time for you to scale? So let's set some clear goals. And let's create and develop a detailed plan. Do you think that when people go out here to build these houses, that they just show up to the land and start building a house? No, there is a plan in place. They have to make sure that they have run the line for plumbing. They have to make sure that the electric is right. They have to lay down the right foundation. They have to check the weather. They have to make sure that they have all of the right materials. So we have to start operating our lives as if we are building a house. There are a lot of things that come into that. They draw it out first. They survey the land. They make sure that it is even feasible to put a house on it. Can you imagine somebody putting a house on a land that has not been surveyed and then wonder why it has sunk? Because you haven't made sure that even the land that you are purchasing can hold you putting a house on it? Come on, let's start operating with some common sense. We're going to have to cultivate and develop discipline and consistency, because it's going to keep that almost spirit off of us. It's going to keep you from settling. Because if you make a habit and stick to your plans, then when your motivation decides to wane, you can look back at that very thing that you said that you want to do because you've been consistent in it. That's like the person that says they want to go to the gym, and the very first day it's hard. But in order for your muscles to build up what it needs to have, you're going to have to go back the second day, go back the third day. Because I can guarantee you that if you go to the gym one day out of the week and then say, you know what, I'm going to go back again next week, the same pains that you had the first time, you're always going to feel that, because your body has not built up enough strength to say, oh, this is what you want us to do. You want us to build muscle, or you want us to be able to lose weight. Your body is looking for the consistency. Your body is looking for the discipline. And then when it begins to work in the manner that you want it to go, then you start to see the results that you are looking for. But it came from you lifting those weights every day. People who get muscles don't just show up just by happenstance. No, they've been putting in the work. They've changed their diet. They made sure that they may have had a pre-workout, post-workout, protein shake. All of these things are part of your consistency and discipline. And then I need you to be able to embrace those areas that did not work out. See, most people are afraid of the setbacks. The setbacks are part of the journey, because then you'll begin to think that everything is just going to be this easy. It's not. There are going to be some times when you're going to have learning opportunities. And those learning opportunities are going to allow you to refine your approach and your strategies. It gives you that opportunity for you to be able to tweak what you need to do. And then let's create some or increase self-awareness. See, because as we're talking about getting rid of this word almost, or settling for less, we have to be able to reflect on the reasons behind why we keep saying almost. Is it a fear of failure? Is it your perfectionism? Or is it something else? But only you can answer that question. Only you can take the time to get with your issues and figure out why. Why do you do that? Why do you say that? Why do you operate in that manner? When certain people come around, why do you feel the need to be able to do this? Become self-aware. And then boost your confidence. Build up your confidence in the abilities that you have, and make sure that you are celebrating along the way. Because your confidence is going to decrease the gaps that you have in between your almost doing. Why? Because you're constantly seeing yourself achieve success. You have to build you up. Yes, there are going to be some people who are going to come into your life and pat you on the back and say, that a boy. But if they don't, can you build yourself up? Can you boost yourself with confidence? And then I would say this, the biggest one for almost, you're going to have to tackle your procrastination. You're going to have to get to the root of why you procrastinate, because procrastination is going to be one of the biggest reasons why people say almost. Again, whether it's your fear, whether it's your lack of interest, feeling overwhelmed, whatever it may be, you're going to have to develop some strategies and techniques to help you to avoid procrastination. Your time management, what does that look like? And the last thing, prioritize, focus. Based on the impact of your goals, focus on what it is that you need to do. And for some of you all, it could just very well just be one thing that you need to do. You have 10 things on your list and you're trying to figure out why none of them are getting accomplished. It's because you have too many things on your list and you're not accomplishing any of them. And then be able to learn to say no to tasks and activities that do not align with your goals or contribute to your success. See, we have to get to a place where we are transitioning from almost to achieved. Almost to achieved. In our mindset, in our planning, in our actions. And it's going to involve us being honest with ourselves. One, about our limitations, and being able to address them so that we can be and commit fully to pursuing our goals. See, life is a journey. And when we know how to play this game, we know how to show up. We know how to take almost off the table. We know how to no longer settle for those things that no longer serve us. Because the faster and quicker we learn to eliminate those things, we begin to see success in our lives. So I just want to thank you for joining me for another adventure of the Heart's Hello. We're together, we embrace vulnerability, learn from each other, and spread love, one heartfelt hello at a time.